Hi, this is Kevin Crowe, head coach at UCD Rugby Club. In this series of interviews, in conjunction with club sponsor Crowe, we talk to past and present players who share their memories of the club and how it has impacted their career both on and off the field. In this interview, we catch up with Christine Coffey. Christine speaks about the benefits of playing at club and university level, stepping into the provincial arena, and how university rugby helped her manage a positional change. Christine, could you give us a bit of a background into your experience in rugby and how you found playing in UCD?
Yeah, so I started playing rugby not long before I started going to college in UCD. So I started with Thurles RFC. It's a club back in Tipperary, back home. And then the minute I got up to Dublin, I signed up for UCD straight away. And I found a club up in Dublin as well. So I was playing dual status with Thurles back at home and Railway up here. And then the travelling up and down got a bit too busy. So I'm just playing with Railway now, so no more dual status. But we're very lucky in the women's side of things that we can play the college rugby and the club rugby. And then back in first year, I managed to kind of break into the representative team. So I've been playing at home as well, back in the province.
How helpful for you was it to be able to play club and university rugby? So you just started playing before you joined UCD. So there's obviously a lot to learn and some extra game time, and I suppose some different environments and more learning opportunities and training and stuff probably help. But how helpful did you find playing both club and university rugby?
I found it massively helpful, particularly because I'm not sure, club rugby is quite intense, and there's a lot of pressure that comes with club rugby and that. But with university, it's kind of an almost safer space kind of thing. There's a freedom that comes with it. You can try things, you can try out different positions, and you can play with different teams, and you're playing with players that have only started recently or they've been playing a long time. So the players that have been around for a long time, they bring you on massively really quickly. So it really helps your development to have that kind of almost safe learning space where you can try anything, and it's a lot less pressurized than say club rugby would be.
Were there any one or two girls who really helped you to settle into the club and to help you develop as a player?
Yeah, massively. Suppose like all the older girls, they all kind of pitched in. I remember my very first training session coming down, and I think Ali Coleman was injured, and she ended up running the junior section. And I think we were terrified of her initially, but it's just because she was such a good player, and there's like, she knew so much about rugby, and a lot of us were just starting out. But those players that have all this experience and are really, really good, um, you learn so much by playing beside them and being on the same team as them. So it's a really nice, it's a really unique environment almost, that you've got these new players that have barely started playing rugby, with these players who might have AIL experience or provincial experience. It really brings you on.
How did the senior players, the senior leaders, and the coaches help to foster a bit of talent development within the group?
Yeah, I think the coaches have been massive in that regard. So in first year, Donner was head coach, and Alice is our head coach now. So they're both similar. They're both really enthusiastic about getting players on the pitch and getting them game time. I think Alice is particularly great for it. She's very enthusiastic about women's rugby and promoting the game. I think you'd be hard pressed to find a bigger promoter of women in sport, and she's just so enthusiastic about players getting out there and learning rugby and enjoying their rugby. She's the biggest proponent of it, and she completely exemplifies that kind of getting players onto the pitch and giving them this opportunity to learn. And then for the senior players, she kind of gives us this scope to make decisions on the pitch. So I think that's massive in terms of developing as a player, developing, leadership skills. She gives players a lot of autonomy on the pitch to make decisions like whether or not to kick to the corner, should we take a penalty here, and letting a kind of a leadership group develop almost organically within the group. So the decisions are made by the players on the pitch. I don't really think she's wedded to any one particular rugby philosophy herself. It's more she meets the players where they are and lets them kind of figure it out in their own way. And Dunner's similar. I don't think anybody has this. He's probably more confident in our abilities than we are ourselves. So yeah, it's great to have the two of them working with us. They're both great for the developing younger players.
Did you find the coach's approach with you helped when you stepped from club rugby into provincial rugby?
Yeah, definitely. Particularly with the confidence side of things. So you'd have Alice and Dunner, and then you'd also have players who've helped out as well. Players within the club who've helped out as well. So the likes of Jack O'Dea and Alton and Heggs, who used to play as well. You have these players who are always looking to instill confidence in you. Particularly for me, I do a bit of kicking for various teams, and before college rugby, I wouldn't have had the confidence to step up and take a kick at all, or I wouldn't have had much confidence on the pitch at all in any facet. And when you're playing with college rugby, they kind of give you that confidence in your own ability to step up and try and make something happen, or make a decision or take some responsibility on. And I think that's massive in terms of no matter what club you're playing with, no matter what team you're in, that really develops you. Just them giving you that confidence and that place to putting in the extra hours, it really helps you no matter what team you're playing with.